Top of the morning. Thanks for being with us. I'm your host today, Seth Lawrence. The WHOW Morning Show streams to Facebook and YouTube, brought to you by Peterson Insurance, your Pekin Insurance agent in Clinton. And if you're watching on the Facebook and the YouTube, I promise that the superintendent of Mount Pulaski Schools, Jason Spang, and I did not coordinate purple shirts on this here day. It just so happened to work out this way. Mr. Spang, good morning, sir. How are you?
Morning, Seth. I'm well. We're closing in on the last week before spring break here on the hilltop, and so we're ready for fourth quarter and to finish the year strong.
I tell you, I can't believe it's fourth quarter already, man. Like, that's, gosh, I mean, it seriously feels like it was last month we were talking about opening day, or first day of school, getting the kids back and all those things. It's really flown by this year, it feels like.
It moves quickly. 2 weeks ago we were clearing snow off the driveway, and today it's going to be in the 70s and tomorrow in the 80s. So welcome to Illinois weather. But We've been lucky enough to get some baseball and softball games in, and not get rained out so far.
Yeah.
So knock on wood.
I was over there to do the baseball preview for IL Sports Wire for Mount Pulaski for your boys, and I'll tell you what, Mr. Spang, those boys are not short on words. They are good media types. I tell you, they're good on the camera.
Well, kudos to our teachers. Obviously, we work on public speaking and those kinds of things, and so it looks like that's paying off.
Either that, or they're just maybe both. Maybe that, and they're just naturally sociable. But no, it was fun. Good kids. They were really cool. It was really fun to be over there and talk to some of those guys and put I see their names in the box scores every day, but I don't know who they are or what they're about. So it's kind of nice to meet a few of those guys. But at any rate, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I was just to say now would be a perfect time just to thank you guys again for Illinois Sports Wire has just done a phenomenal job covering our kids. Whether it was the girls basketball run or now in baseball, we've taken on that partnership with you guys, and we couldn't be happier. So thank you for everything you've done.
Thanks for having us. It's great. It really is. It's been a great partnership, and Mount Pulaski, like I've said before, just a natural fit for what we're doing over there. And speaking of baseball, Mr. Spang, we were talking before we got started. Basically, your kids are playing on the Cardinals field. So tell me about this. Tell our listeners about how exactly your kids are basically playing on a Cardinals level ball diamond right now.
Well, before we came on live, you and I talked about how we're excited this spring to open up Veterans Park. We have our brand new track out there, and we're hosting our first track meet this Thursday with FAT timing. It's just going to be a duel, but with regards to your comment about baseball, we did renovate the baseball field last year. So we had the infield and the foul territory in the infield, backstop area, all resodded. And then part of the work as well was pulling out the old fence and putting in, our strong poles and netting, putting a batter's eye out in center field. But yes, the dirt work, we received that from Vernon Jones, who repurposes the dirt from Busch Stadium as the Cardinals play on. So we were lucky enough to get that, and hopefully it turns into maybe some major league caliber plays out there with some of our kids. Who knows? Maybe that'll rub off.
That's cool. Yeah, but that's really neat. That is really neat. I've heard they take those, like the floors of those, the NCAA basketball tournament floors, and they like repurpose them, and like high schools can buy them, or like D3 colleges can buy them, and then they repaint them and stuff. So it's pretty neat what those leagues do to just not waste the stuff you see on TV sometimes, And
yeah, it's pretty amazing. When we were up in Bloomington watching our girls play in the state tournament, I was able to be down on the floor, and when you look at it, it's just, ISU Redbird Arena, it's just a concrete floor, and these pieces of wood they bring out and they fit it together like a puzzle, and they lock them in, and it's pretty unique. How quickly they can do that.
And if you ever, and we are way off the beaten path here, but if you
we're in the weeds a little bit.
We are. It's all right. If you ever get a chance to see on like social media, TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, whatever, like if you ever have an arena that has a basketball game, hockey game, whatever, they've got one on one night, and then they've got one the next day. It's really cool to watch the the time lapse transformation. I've seen where I've even seen where MSG has to take the floor off of the Madison Square Garden. They have to take the floor off of the arena and set up the hockey rink in an afternoon, because you got the Knicks play at say 11, and then you got the Rangers that play at like 7:30. So it's pretty cool.
It's impressive.
Cool. All right, so down to business here, my man. Forgive me for getting us off the beaten path here. What are we going to talk about? Oh, your facilities. That's right. You've got you're moving along with a elementary school renovation. What's going on here?
Yep. So next month at our board meeting, we've partnered with Kendall King's Financial to help us finance the grade school project we talked about a few months ago. And so last month at our board meeting, we were able to hear presentations on a design build concept, design bid build concept, and then what they call CMAR, which is a construction manager at risk. And so we listened to all three of those presentations, and I believe we're going to move forward next month with recommending hiring Core Construction as our construction manager at risk. They constructed our high school building, and did a fantastic job. And so I believe my read on the board is that we feel comfortable, continuing that partnership. And so that's going to be my recommendation for the April board meeting. But Kendall is going to come in and present a new financial timeline for us, as far as probably in June having a regular board meeting to adopt a sales resolution and issue debt certificates, and then obviously close on those, and then have a public meeting, and then have a 30-day petition period for the public to be able to collect signatures if they don't want us to move forward. We don't anticipate that happening because again, we're able to leverage the new revenue from the wind farm here within our district boundaries, and so we'll be able to construct this without raising the tax rate. And so we don't expect those signatures, but in case we do, then we want to start this project in June, so that way if the public does collect all the signatures, we can still get it on the ballot for November.
Okay, gotcha. So with this renovation, Mr. Spang, remind us what we're doing here. What's this all about?
So several classrooms. So we're contemplating anywhere between 6 and 8 new classrooms, new competition gymnasium right now, the elementary school. We have one gym with seating only on one side, and also a stage in that gym, but it gets very, very crowded. In fact, for our concert nights, for spring concert, Christmas concerts, we literally have to break one big concert down into smaller ones because we can't fit everybody in the gym. So we'll have a K3 group go, and then an hour later we'll bring in the fourth grade through the sixth grade. And so we just need more capacity. And so we'll be able to still have kind of our plays and eighth grade promotion in the old gymnasium, but obviously have some increased capacity in the competition gym. And so we've seen two different architectural plans for those. One is to build the gym on the north side, kind of in the ground. We would dig out in the ground and have the gym located there. And then in another rendition, it was on the southeast side of our elementary school, currently where the playground is. But excited. It's going to be a mixture of new construction and some renovation. And it's something that we feel very, very strongly about proceeding and doing, whether the data center comes or not. Because if the data center does come and we need to do any additions later, complete any additions, we'll have the flexibility to do that. So.
Sure. Nice. Awesome. That's cool. Very good. So look forward to that. You might have said it and I probably totally missed it. Did you say a total cost on this project?
We're looking between 15 and 20 million.
Oh, okay. Wow.
And so,
wow, man. So
yeah,
if you don't mind me asking, at that point, why not just build a new facility?
Well, so you have to have the land to do that. And so, we would have to either purchase land maybe on the outskirts of town or outside of town. If you want to just build brand new, because otherwise it turns into a multi-phase project where, if we don't have enough room on the elementary campus to build a totally brand new building, and then have the kids, continue to learn in the old building until the new building's ready.
Right.
Number one, we don't have the land. Number two, it's in town. It's convenient. A lot of our kids walk to school,
right.
And our busing transportation is set up for that model as well. So, plus our elementary school has really good bones, and so that's why we've decided to renovate some of it and then add on to some of it, because, new construction cost right now, it's between, $450 and $650, $700 a square foot. And so that can add up very, very quickly. And so we are going to incorporate some renovation, but some new construction as well.
Sure. Gotcha. Makes sense. How will this impact the school year next year in terms of, will you need to adjust classroom sizes or where kids are going to, the logistics of all that? What's it look like?
No, our plan is to break ground in the summer of 27, and then by the end of the summer in 28, have it complete. So, we've talked about bringing in modular units to put up either on the south side of the building or in the playground area. So if we need to renovate during the school year, then we'll have places for those kids to go. But very, very little displacement. But obviously, with the new construction, you don't have to worry about any of the current building being affected by that, because we have that square footage to be able to expand on the elementary campus.
Sure. That makes sense. Very good. What I missed in that conversation, Mr. Spang?
Not much. Other than that, we are in the middle of contract negotiations. We started in January, and we have 2 meetings this week, and we're hopeful to wrap up this week. So we've covered a lot of different areas. Obviously the finance portion of it, and a lot of language changes, just some language clarification that makes it easily understandable by the union and us.
Okay.
And so we've had, I would say a handful of meetings since January. We were able to tentatively agree or TA on some pre-negotiation items, but we're hopeful to TA a lot more items tonight, and then possibly use tomorrow to wrap everything up.
Okay.
So we're looking at a 3-year extension.
Yeah, so. And this would be your first kind of contract negotiation, correct, in Mount Pulaski?
Yeah, with Mount Pulaski, correct. Obviously, I helped up in Peatone and then in Bureau Valley as well.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, first time kind of leading it as the superintendent, and so have really enjoyed providing a financial profile to our Board of Education, so that way they feel comfortable about where to meet in the middle as far as the union asks and our asks as far as the salary schedule. And so it's been very, very smooth, I would say. We've had great lines of communication with us in the union, and no complaints.
Nice. Very good. Well, that's awesome. That's good stuff. Very nice. On that note, Mr. Spang, let's take a break, come back with some more. Jason Spang is the superintendent of Mount Pulaski Schools, my guest on the Zoom. We'll talk more with Mr. Spang coming up on the WHOW Morning Show.
WHOW.
Let's check the opening numbers now at the Chicago Board of Trade on this Wednesday. I'm Jim Taylor on the RFD Radio Network. Two-sided trade with corn, beans, and Chicago wheat. May corn opening for 60.5 down 2. July corn down 1 3/4 for 70 3/4, and new crop December 487 down 2 pennies. May beans starting today 11.59.5 up 4.5. July beans up 4, 11.75.5, and November new crop up 4 1/4, 11.48. May Chicago wheat 588.5 down 1 3/4. July wheat 598 3/4 down 3 1/4. May bean meal 322.70, that's up 30 cents, and May bean oil 65.56 down 17 cents. Looking at the energy market, June Brent crude oil down 522, 95.01. Jim Taylor, RFD Radio Network.
This is Inside.
March into Baum Chevrolet Buick and march out with a new Chevrolet. This is Scott Baum from Baum Chevrolet Buick in Clinton and Farmer City. We have over 20 Silverados to fit your daily work needs in 1500, 2500, and 3500s in gas or diesel, all sale priced. Also, check out the Colorado pickup. This size and maneuverability may be another option as well. Chevrolet, together, let's drive. Baum Chevrolet Buick, right from the start.
Here's Matt Hart, owner of the Hart Media Group in Clinton, talking about continuing to serve the community through new ownership.
Things came together and we reached an agreement to purchase. And as you mentioned, we closed August the 1st. So as August the 1st, Miller Media Group is now Hart Media Group. And we're continuing to serve the people of Clinton and DeWitt County and Monticello and Bloomington and Decatur and everywhere, because we'll just keep connecting people as we've been doing.
The Hart Media Group looks forward to continuing to serve the community for years to come.
Your friend in Central Illinois, WHOW.
Top of the morning. Thanks again for being with us. I'm your host today, Seth Lawrence. The WHOW Morning Show streams to Facebook and YouTube, brought to you by Peterson Insurance, your Pekin Insurance agent in Clinton. Mr. Jason Spang, superintendent of Mount Pulaski Schools, my guest on the Zoom today. And Mr. Spang, you're going to have to forgive me. All the talk of what we of stadiums and baseball fields and all that lost my track of what we were supposed to get to this morning. So what else did we?
No worries, Seth. You picked me up various times, and I'll return the favor.
Thank you so much.
So we did talk about we renewed our school resource officer, our SRO agreement with Logan County, and so we've been lucky enough to have Josh Ferris as our SRO. But congratulations to Josh.
He's a sheriff now.
Yes, he just won the election for Logan County Sheriff. So he was still able to obviously work with us to renew the document. So we're currently on a 3-year. The new SRO intergovernmental agreement will be a 4-year extension. But this semester, he's been away from campus quite a bit, obviously training, and so he's been able to supply us 2 SROs on a rotational basis, and they've both done a wonderful job, and so we will enter the fall into an agreement with one of those, but a 4-year agreement that we're pretty excited about.
Very good. So school resource officers through the sheriff's office, that's a good thing. And how long have you had that program, Mr. Spang?
I believe 3 years prior to me being here as well. Okay. I know that they were instrumental in helping us with our security cameras throughout the district, right, and our Zero Eyes weapon detection software. So that's been a great partnership. Zero Eyes uses AI and security cameras to detect any potential weapons. And there's actually the summer before I started, there were kids on the playground with squirt guns, and so that alerted Zero Eyes, and obviously that ended up being a false positive. But it's been a great system, brings a lot of peace of mind as far as safety is concerned for our students and families and our staff. And so, I mean, other than that, this past board meeting, we did approve some student handbook language changes going forward into next year, just some minor changes as far as, clarification on languages, including B- with some of our honor roll expectations. And then some of the big things were, allowing students to use e-readers when approved by classroom teachers. And, these clear water bottles are a big thing now, right? So we got to make sure that, we can see what the kids are bringing in. And then one other big thing is waiving school registration fees and sports fees for our students. So
wait, what's the water bottle thing about here now?
So just, when kids bring in, any kind of containers to school, we just want to make sure that we can see what they're bringing in. So we make sure they bring in a clear, translucent, bottle to make sure they're not bringing in a lot of energy drinks or pops or, those kinds of things.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. So you want whatever they bring in to be see-through or trans.
Correct. Yes.
Yeah. Interesting. So they can't bring like a Yeti or something like that, or a stand or something.
They can now, yeah, but we're having conversations about changing that a little bit. So.
Interesting stuff. Very nice. Very nice. Yeah. Anything else going on at the board level that y'all are doing?
No, just, preparing for this project and then,
Hey, I have a question for you.
wrapping up negotiations. That's the big thing.
Yeah, if you don't mind, and I'm not leaving us a lot of time to get into this. Maybe we'll save it for April. But
Sure.
talk a little bit about the planned transportation cuts in those mandated categoricals. How much are you watching for that right now?
Yeah, we are. We've been having those conversations with the board for a while, and it's something that we absolutely have to keep our eye on. Some districts out there are consolidating and stacking bus routes, and so districts do that for a number of reasons. Sometimes it's because of driver shortages. Sometimes it's because of the financial piece. And so we've reviewed all of those numbers, and we're going to be in a position where we won't have to do that. But nonetheless, you're right. The mandated categoricals in the state of Illinois, as far as special ed reimbursement, transportation reimbursement, all of those are something that every district in the state of Illinois is keeping an eye on, because that funding is just continues to reduce every year. Instead of funding it 100%. I know when we had conversations with Matt Seaton, who's the CFO at ISB. They were telling us, instead of budgeting flat, budgeted a reduced rate of 80%, then it went to 78%. And so I think we've been able to through that communication from ISB see that from a distance, and then allocate our funds accordingly through our local property tax dollars.
Yeah.
So,
Well, I'll tell you what, maybe I'll put that on the back burner for April. We'll dive more into that and
sure, we can get into more of those numbers.
Yeah, for sure. Very good. Well, Mr. Spang, very quickly, how do folks follow along with all things Mount Pulaski Schools?
On our website, www.mp23schools.com, and then also on our Facebook and X and Instagram pages.
Very
as
nice.
well.
Mr. Spang, always good to see you, sir. Maybe I'll run into you at a ball game or something this spring.
Sounds good, Seth. Be
Very
well.
good. Yep. Same to you, Mr. Jason Spang, Superintendent of Mount Pulaski Schools, our guest on the Zoom. Network News comes your way now on the WHOW Morning Show.
WHOW.